Hey guys, we're going to Hawaii's Big Island and we're going to go snorkeling and see fish. Watch this video for tropical fish, coral reefs, and manta rays. At these latitudes, trade winds blow from the east, making the west side of the Big Island the most favorable for snorkeling.
First, we are going to get acai bowls. Then we are going to go snorkeling. Then we are going to the northern part of the island towards Waipio Valley.
Let's first go to Two-Step Beach, also called Honaunau. Honaunau is located south of Kailua Kona, halfway down the western shore of the Big Island. Its popularity is due to its easy access from the highway that surrounds the island. Once you get here, you'll notice a small beach, which is great for staging before you get into the water. Looking towards the ocean towards the left side of the beach, you see a small strip of lava extending further into the water. This is where the famous two steps are. Do keep in mind the steps themselves are a little slippery because of the algae growing on them. The Big Island is pretty young geologically, so its shores drop up pretty quickly without much sand and beach from eroded shorelines. This makes for great snorkeling because you have coral and fish right when you enter the water. On the flip side, if you're a beginner swimmer, keep in mind you won't be able to reach the bottom here. Water is about 15 to 20 feet deep. We saw lots of coral and a bunch of parrotfish and yellow tang. If you look between the rocks, you might see some sea urchins too. Unlike some other Hawaiian beaches, Two Steps is ocean facing, so it might get some swells and currents. Because of its depth and the possibility of currents and swells, I would recommend Two-Step Beach to intermediate and above swimmers. Here's a view back up to the volcano and back down at the beautiful reef. Just be sure to wear reef-safe sunscreen and not to step on the coral to protect the sensitive ecosystem. Our next snorkeling destination is Kahalu Beach, also on the west shore near Kailua Kona. Look at that lava rock and how close we can get to the fish here. If you have a keen eye, you can spot the gray spotted boxfish on the bottom of the screen swimming away. Those type of fish are poisonous with slime that can kill other fish. And here in this shot, a yellow and black moorfish idol. While the moorfish looks like an angelfish, which sounds angelic, the moorfish could be pretty aggressive to other fish, including their own species. Most of the snorkel area here is pretty shallow and there is not too much current because it's behind a barrier reef, making this a great spot for all swimming levels. And look, a bunch of Hawaiian mamo fish, the most common fish here in this shot with its silvery body and black stripes. Closer look of another moorfish idol. And there is no shortage of yellow tang actively picking at rocks for food. Yellow tang are algae feeders who can live up to 30 years. We get a good view of an orange-spined unicorn fish. We get closer to the rocks to look at sea urchins. Urchins are generally harmless and their gonads could be harvested as a delicacy in Japanese food. We have a school of mamo fish with some brown surgeonfish swimming near the rocks. And not too far behind that, Homo sapiens slowly trotting through the water. Take a careful look between the legs of the two snorkelers here. You get the Hawaiian state fish, the reef triggerfish with a black stripe running down its body. Just a fun fact in case you're curious. It's not a good idea to eat reef fish due to the toxins they accumulate from the coral reefs that they inhabit. A close encounter with this orange band surgeonfish down by the reef. Here are some close-up shots of coral. Look, but don't touch. If you look between the mamo fish, you'll see a bright yellow fin and black stripes. That's a rare thread fin butterfly fish. If you look towards the bottom right of the screen, near the rocks, you'll see a side spot goatfish. The same goatfish and yellow threadfish to the right side. Here in Kahalu Beach, you get amazing visibility because you're sheltered from the reef, so there's not many air bubbles from currents, and you get pretty close to the coral. Just be sure to wear reef-safe sunscreen and not step on the coral when you're in this area.
At Keauhou Bay, you can go on an adventure of a lifetime and snorkel with the giant, majestic manta rays. First, you climb aboard a speedboat after sunset with your snorkeling gear and get ready to dive into the manta ray playground. Your guide will illuminate a fluorescent light, which invites manta rays to come explore. You might be surprised when a giant 12-foot ray takes a somersault in front of your eyes and comes to say hello. The manta rays are peaceful, gentle, and highly intelligent. They are very friendly and spiritual animals. It is definitely a magical moment when you have a chance to feel connected to these majestic beauties.
Driving around the islands, you might see sea turtles. Per state law, you're not allowed to touch the turtles, but you can observe from a distance. We found a lot of turtles in areas where fresh water flows into salt water, in lagoons where the water temperature was lower. Here there's a big sea turtle about 3 feet long, hiding under a rock, taking a nap. This footage is a little blurry due to the salt and fresh water mixing, but this is also why the turtles like hanging out here. The freshwater pond right beside the beach provides a lot of nutrients and food for the turtles. Hope you enjoy joining us underwater and watching these sea creatures thrive in their homes. As always, prioritize safety in the ocean. Conditions can change fast. Hawaii is stunning, the water is warm, but the waves can be strong. When in doubt, don't go out.